Hello, everyone. Welcome to this very edition of Brass Band Chronicles. Brass Band Chronicles, the brass band history. As in brass band of the past, I like to say the beginning, the invention of brass band or the formation of brass band in the southwest of Nigeria. This is where we bring the history to your doorstep. And on today's edition, yes, inú mi dùn láti sọ fún yín pé lára àwọn ẹja ńlá, bàbá. In fact, I want to say ex-military personnel ni wọ́n, multi-instrumentalist ni wọ́n. Presently, àwọn náà ń ṣiṣẹ́ nínú ìjọ Ọlọ́run. In fact, a mentor for me personally and the likes of my generation. That is the Ejanla that we have on our program this evening. Yes. Before I move on, that is to bringing me, I want to say thank you for your support. That is in terms of the shares, that is Beshen share program, or comments, subscriptions, and I want to say, Ọlọ́run a máa replenish, data, you know. So, but then, you are welcome one more time, and I want to say, Egbon, you are welcome on our program. Yes. The Baba. Baba, ẹ kúrọ̀lẹ́ sà.
Ẹ kúrọ̀lẹ́ o, ẹ káàárọ̀ o, ẹ káàsán o, ẹ káalẹ́ o, wherever you are watching us from.
Yes, Egbon, thank you very much. Egbon, people, that is our viewers wọn ò lè dúró láti mọ orúkọ yín sà.
Okay, my name is Tunde Apanari. Everybody knows me as Apanari.
The
great Apanari. Yes.
Ẹ ṣé gan, Egbon. Egbon, thank you, sir. Though ó nira díẹ̀ láti lè dè ìmọ́lẹ̀ báyìí. So, but mo mọ̀ pé Chronicles náà, that is Brass Band Chronicles náà ló lè dè ìmọ́lẹ̀ because of shadows. So, Egbon, ẹ ṣeun gan.
I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you, sir. And ẹ kú ìtọ́jú ẹ̀gbọ́n mi o, ẹ kú ìtọ́jú Radebo.
Àti ẹ̀sìnjọ wà lálẹ́ àná tá à ń jẹ yán àti ẹ̀fọ́ rírò.
Oh my God.
Soup. So serious.
Lovely, Egbon. Thank you. Ẹ ṣé gan. So, Egbon, kí ni state of origin yín, Egbon?
Originally, I am from Bayelsa State. But I was born in Lagos, grew up in Lagos, the Lagos Island. My dad is from Bayelsa State, and my mom is partly Yoruba and partly Agoin. The father is from Togo.
Wow.
He was also born in Lagos. We all know the Agoins of Lagos.
Yes.
Yeah, Ewa Agoin. Without the Agoin. Without the Ewa Agoin, nowhere.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, sir.
And also, I want to say àwọn olópò, in those days. Ewa Agoin.
Yes.
The party is not completed without the Agoin coming to cook for you there.
Exactly.
I don't know what is happening nowadays. A lot of caterers have sprung up now.
Yes.
But in those days, you see them, the women lining up in front of our house in those days, and people coming to pick one, èèyàn méjì, èèyàn mẹ́ta, èèyàn mẹ́rin, olóko mẹ́ta, olóko mẹ́rin. And they travel as far as, Ilorin, River, outside
All
Lagos
over.
to go and call over, to go and cook, and things like that. And my mom's dad, Baba Yami, is from Togo, like I said. And Yami is from Ota in Ogun State.
Ogun State.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that Tunde came as a result of my grandfather, my late grandfather, after I was born after he died. So that's how the Tunde came in.
Okay.
Because whenever I introduce myself, I introduce me as Tunde Apanari. A lot of people, especially those who meet me on Facebook, they just assume I'm Yoruba. And the next thing, when they ask, where are you from? And I say, Bayelsa. Báwo ni Tunde àti Bayelsa ṣe.
Correlation.
I will start explaining. Sometimes I don't even bother explaining. Sometimes I just tell them, look, that Tunde tẹ̀rí yẹn, orúkọ Bayelsa ni. How come? Ani pẹ̀rẹ̀ Tunde. Àwọn èèyàn ló change ẹ̀ sí Tunde. People will just accept. Some I will take time to explain the way I just explained now. But the most important thing is that Omo Economy.
Okay, that's
born
good.
and bred in Lagos.
In Lagos.
I was born in Island Maternity. In those days. So the whole of Lagos Island, I always boast in those days that Toba Bole ni Idumota. Apanari to Fufere. The smallest boy will take you to my house. That gbajúmọ̀ bí ìṣánilẹ́ta in those days.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
So I will thank God for everything.
Hallelujah, Egbo. That's good. That's good. Let's go, Egbo. And kí ni background educationally?
Okay, that was good. I attended Holy Cross Primary School in Lagos Island, and from there, that was in the 60s. In those days, we used to have Ifant 1, Ifant 2. Then before you go to Standard 1, Standard 2, you read up to Standard 6 in those days. But along the line, what changes in primary school, so after leaving primary school, I went to a school in Butemeta called Nigerian People's High School. They used to call it Najakpako in those days. Because it was built by Paco. They used to say Najakpako built by Paco, surrounded by Paco, and it's a very popular school in those days in the Kano Street, near Butemeta. That's where I went, and now it's changed to Agoegba High School now. When you go to that Butemeta access, you will see it now. It's now Agoegba High School.
High school.
Yeah, that's where I went. And after that, because of my interest in music, but we'll come back to the Boys Brigade later.
Yeah.
Because of my interest in music, I joined the Nigerian Navy Band straight away from secondary school, and I was in the Nigerian Navy Band for 10 years, from 1980 to 1990, after which I proceeded to UK.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I got to UK here, I did some programs in you have to do education, because I wanted to do education anyway, so a course in preparatory in education. Then I went to a university called the Dartington College of Arts in Devon. It's now part of University of Plymouth in south west of England. So I have my degree in music. I had BA music, combined degree in music and arts management.
Good.
After which I came back to London and I did a postgraduate degree in education from Goldsmith University of London. And after that, straight away, it gave me the opportunity to teach. So I became a music teacher.
Good.
In London here. And my first school that I taught, that was in 1999. I finished my degree in 1998. I did the 1 year PGC postgraduate in education at Goldsmith University of London 1 year. I finished in 1999. And straight away, I started teaching at a school called Brampton Manor in East London. And if you Google Brampton Manor today, it's one of the best schools in UK now. That almost every kid that finished there goes to Oxford, Cambridge, and things like that. Parents are struggling to get their children into that school now. And also, fortunately, the principal of the school, the head teacher, is a Nigerian, it's an Igbo guy who actually turned around the school. I was there for 8 years. I was there for 8 years before politics started pulling me from Bayelsa State. So I started going up and down. I had to leave teaching, went to Bayelsa State, joined politics. And also while I was there, because of the music interest I have, on Lati Da School Silebe, I founded the music school there, Tunrab School of Music, where like when I was teaching there, music is a very interesting subject in the UK here, and it's one of the compulsory in the curriculum, and music teachers are very scarce, to come by. Sometimes during our time, they even give us some concessions, some money to come and study, to come and do the teach the subject. So I used the idea we were using in UK here then, because as a music teacher, you are not teaching instrument in the classroom. You have a curriculum you have to follow.
Yes.
And it's overall music you are teaching. Yes. But there are students who are interested in learning instruments. Yes. So we have what we call peripatetic teachers, they are being paid by the council of that local government, and each student that is interested in any subject, any music instrument, or my parents or my council, my register our money. Then the teacher will then come to your school, to the school of the child, maybe 10, 15 minutes of the school time. I teach one Lord, they move to another church, another school.
So our teachers here, they are like the instructors.
Yeah, they are based on just instruments only. If you want to learn trumpet, the trumpet teacher will come in and teach you trumpet. If you are learning violin, the violin teacher will come in and teach you during your subject. It might not even be during a music lesson. It could be any time that's allocated for you. The child will come out just that 15 minutes, learn his violin. Then the teacher will give her or him homework to do, practical homework to do. Then as soon as they are leaving your school, they are going to another school. So they go from different schools. They call them peripatetic. So I tried to establish such a thing in Bayelsa, which didn't work out really well, because a lot of our parents here, they don't know the importance of music or music education. Now, I'm going to tell you here for free that music, the research has made it that any child that plays any musical instrument at all, has the brain, all the senses is working. So if a child plays a trumpet or clarinet, is good, is best in all other subjects.
Yes.
Is best in all that, because all the senses are working. And that is what our parents don't know here. Some parents don't know here. They always think, oh, when your child is learning instrument, oh, is he going to be playing music? Is he going to be an alagbe? Things like you know, but they don't know that when a child plays an instrument, it helps that child, you know, mentally in all other subjects.
Yes.
And I always tell them when I'm teaching, I always tell the kids, look, there's no subject you don't have music. And they were like, how come?
Okay.
Okay, science. Music is science.
Yes.
You know, everything that every instrument comes from science. We remember in those days, tamamu okun, tamafisunu agolo, tamafa, you know, communication, to move.
The other end, yes.
You know, amafa okun by ama string, amafa string, it vibrates and give us sound. And that is science. And they will say, oh, okay, what about maths? I said, don't even talk about it. Because music is math. You cannot play music without knowing maths.
Exactly.
You know, all those our kilometric time signature, 3/4, 4/4.
Yes.
You cannot play music without knowing maps.
Yes.
You know, you have to start the music 1, 2, 3, 4. And you'll be counting. If anybody, when you are playing, you have to be counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know when to come in, when you're in a band. You know, it's not every time you play. You have to count your rest. You have to count your beats. You have to count your sounds. Everything.
And you have to keep the tempo.
You have to keep in time. And you see a whole band. You know, a drummer is sitting down playing so many instruments in front of him and still has to listen to everybody and still has to kill. So all those, everything is just music is amazing.
Yes.
You know, but some of our parents, some of the people in Nigeria, they don't know this. You know, but we are proving it to them. You know, so and that is what I was doing in Bayelsa until, you know, I went back to you. I came back to UK again. So let's continue. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Yes, viewers, if you are just joining, you welcome. My name is Christian Dagbeyon Samuel, and on today's program, this very edition, we have one of our legends, and he's a living legend, and he's been introduced. We've been at John Soro, want to saw a lot of things, you know. Any program later. So I want to say it's a nice thing joining us. So Egbon, Eshegon, and Mama, that takes us to the next question. Timabi, instrument will go on and play major or your minor or your subsidiary.
My major instrument is trumpet. My major instrument is trumpet. But while I was in the Navy, I was able to play almost all brass instruments, ranging from trombone, euphonium, tuba, saxophone came into
French horn.
Yeah, French horn and all those ones. We have an idea of everything.
Yes.
You know? So yeah, because while I was in the Navy, I was opportune to start composing or arranging music for the brass band. And you have to have an idea of all the instruments, because some of the instruments, they are transposing instruments, and some of them are not transposing instruments.
Yes,
so you need to have an idea.
Yes.
The keys when you are playing in a concert key, what is euphonium going to be playing? What is the alto sax going to be playing? What key alto sax is playing? What key the tuba is playing? There are some instruments that they are just, you know, they play on the keys, the concert key.
Concert keys, yes.
Like trumpet is a B flat. Trumpet is a B flat instrument. Yes. You know, so the concert key for trumpet is B flat. But when they play the B flat, you'll be playing in your own C.
C.
You know, yeah, that is how this trumpet is built.
And
also, we cannot take away drums from it, because all of us started from drumming.
Yes.
The boys brigade. You know, when we come to Boys Brigade, we will talk about that in a moment.
Yeah. And in military, because platform military let you learn to play the instrument, your trumpet, isn't it?
No.
Okay, it was from the Boys Brigade.
From the Boys Brigade, yeah.
Aha! Who taught you how to play the trumpet, sir?
And maybe we have to start with the Boys Brigade then.
No. That one is coming. That one is coming.
Right. I can't remember the name of this old man anymore. Okay. There was one old man in our community there who just gave me the Tony Suffer, you know, how to play the notes of the trumpet, you know, is C. Just gave me the key of C. C, he put 0 there for the do. Re 1 and 3.
1 and 3.
Mi 1 and 2. Fa 1.
1.
And then Saw 0.
Yes.
La 1 and 2. T
all
2. 2. And then T do then is another 0. And he just wrote that on a piece of paper for me. And I used to in the Boys Brigade, we used to have this cornet, you know, in those days. You know, I just took one old cornet, brought it home, and simply do re mi fa sol la ti do ti la so fa mi, disturbing the people in the compound. You know, that's the good thing about Nigeria. You know, people don't feel disturbed. Anything you are doing, people don't feel disturbed.
Yes.
You know, you know, you can just carry the trumpet. In fact, the children will come around you and you'll be entertaining them while you are learning. You know, and that is how I started, all the songs I used to hear, translate it, so la so mi do re do la so mi re. You know, I started playing that, and that is how I picked the trumpet up. So I cannot say in particular that somebody taught me how to play trumpet.
Okay,
but good. It's just that first C key I was given.
Wow.
And that was it.
Brigade, my God. I was of the opinion pé gbogbo àwọn gimmicks ní àwọn expertise nígbà yẹn pé bóyá military.
No. I will even tell you this. When I went for the recruitment.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I went for the recruitment, I went with that old cornet.
Wow.
And among all the people that were recruited that day, I was the only one that was able to play an instrument. And I just played something I was able to play. I knew from the Boys Brigade, and I just they didn't even say, oh yeah, you are now, yeah, you are in, because it was a band recruitment. It was not a general recruitment. I think that at that time they were doing. In fact, our set was called 17 Alpha, 17A, because they've already done the major 17 batch.
Okay.
So our own was just a subsidiary or something. I don't know what to.
Probably subsidiary.
You know, just for the band. We were looking for bandsmen at that time. And luckily there was a man in my compound called Tunde Okashoro. You know, he was in the Navy, he was in the band. He just came from a 3 years training, you know, in abroad at that time. And it was through him, he asked me to come, you know, and as soon as I got there, as soon as I played, that was the only question that was asked of me. And that was it, you know. So it was not in the military, at least it was the other way around. It was the Boys Brigade that brought me into the military. And then it was from the military training that I got improved. That's all I can say. Yeah, I got trained in the military, got better in the military. I was able to sight-read properly in the military. But even before then, I don't know if you know of if you've heard of Papa Crepi, Pa Crepi.
Orúkọ wọn yẹn loud gan.
Pa Crepi was one of my mentors. I was actually going to his house at that time, to learn music, but not the trumpet. There was a day I was in one of my auntie's house and I saw this rudiment of music book, and I started reading it, and that interested me. Then I had that Park normally lesson, so I started going to the lesson to learn more theory, and I was playing piano. I was learning piano and theory of music. From there, from Papa Klepi's place, I was able to do the Associated Board of Royal School of Music up to grade 6 at that time.
Okay.
Yeah. So my music sight reading or my music theory was really, really high. So I was able to combine the private lesson from Papa Klepi and the training in the military. And in fact, I was high above my peers that just wore Navy the same day. Good. So I was using my experience in the Boys Brigade in the Navy, and I was using my experience in the Navy in the Boys Brigade. Okay. I was combining the two at the same time. Yeah.
Very, very good, Egbo. Thank you so much. Yes, that brings us to She member Boys Brigade me, of course, yes. Actually from.
Yeah.
So far, in Continental so. So she member Boys Brigade ni, yes ni. But company work, mom.
Okay. You have already answered that question.
Yes, sir.
If I was a member of the Boys Brigade, yes, I was, and I am still a member of the Boys Brigade.
Good.
I started Boys Brigade very, very early. I used to have I attended the Holy Cross Cathedral.
Okay.
Where I was in the Boy Scout, the Cop. We used to call them Wolf Cop in those days, And a friend of mine is like a brother, George Koo. He attends Methodist Church, where there's Boys Brigade. Okay. And in Holy Cross, there's no Boys Brigade. We only have Boy Scouts in the school, but the church doesn't have Boys Brigade. And one thing that really, impressed me or that attracts me in the Boys Brigade is on during the Palm Sunday, during the Palm Week. While when I was at the meeting, or before that, when I'm at a Boy Scout meeting, you will hear the Boys Brigade playing band, passing, on that Saturday, going to cut the palm, and when they are coming back, they'll be playing the drums. And I was like, why is the Boy Scout not playing drum? So with that, I got, disinterested, interested in the Boy Scout. Then I started following George Koo to Tinubu Methodist Church. That is where I started the Boys Brigade as a junior boy at that time. Most of when you're I don't know if there are others, but to me, I feel I am one of the very few opportunities who had the opportunity of being in almost all the sections of the Boys Brigade. I started as a junior boy, a company section boy, rose to senior section, rose to a warrant officer.
NCO.
Yeah, warrant officer.
NCO, warrant officer.
I became a full lieutenant, and then I became a captain. I became a patron, and even I'm a state patron today.
Wow.
So I felt that I passed through all the stages. Yeah, of the Boys Brigade and up to now.
Very good.
And when I started Boys Brigade at Tinubu Methodist Church, it was called the fourth Lagos Company at that time. That was my Mr. Ade Order.
Baba Order
was our captain. Was a great man. if you ask me who is my mentor in the Boys Brigade, who made me what I am today, I will tell you, Papa Oda is, is one of them, or is the one, the way to say trade one by, So, Bishop Wani Tinubu, Methodist Church, were playing drums, graduated from snare drum to tenor drum, to bass drum, to bigu, and then from the bigu, I started playing the trumpet, like I said at the beginning.
Yes.
And the way I am, when I became a lieutenant there, there were about 3 of us who were the lieutenants of Power at that time.
Yes.
Myself, George Koo, and one brother Shegun. I remember his surname now, And then, I mean, as I was there, me say, "Why need Tinubu?" I wasn't going there as a member of Tinubu Methodist Church. No, I was going there as a member of the Boys Brigade, and I was still attending my own church, Holy Cross. I only go to Tinubu on Saturdays, and any function that we have on Sundays I attend. Because they say that even members of Tinubu Methodist Church never knew that I'm not a Methodist. Even to the I think it was Petrac then, Bank, knows me very well, and they never believe that. They've just believed that I'm a member of Tinubu Methodist Church because I do all my activities, and I will attend Mass in Holy Cross before I go to any activities in the church. We have option of attending different types of masses. Tinubu service starts at 10 o'clock. So I would have gone to either 8 o'clock mass or 6 o'clock mass in Holy Cross. See activities for. So almost every member of the Tinubu Methodist Church never knew that I'm a Catholic or I was a Catholic. Because my activities there was 100%. I remember one incident when Nelson Mandela came to Nigeria. Tinubu Methodist Church was one of the churches that he visited. And my band there, the Tinubu band there, performed. And I think Holy Cross too came to perform that time. And the Archbishop Koje was standing next to Petrac. And the Archbishop was pointing to me, said that it is boy. Petrac was pointing to him that is my boy. And I remember we had that the parade of honor for not Nelson Mandela, Bishop Tutu, Desmond Tutu. That was when they came from South Africa. When they came to Nigeria, at that time they were trying to, get Nelson Mandela out of
the
jail, and they were trying to eradicate apartheid. So it was his Bishop Tutu's one of his tour going around Africa and beyond. He came to Nigeria and he came to Tinubu, and we had that parade for him. We even played the South African anthem, on that day, for him. So I'm just saying about my activities at the Methodist Church, and sometimes Baba Dada will come to, at that time Baba Dada was very, very active. Every Saturday he attended it. He goes to one company to another to see how they are doing. Baba Dada will come to Tinubu Methodist Church. He will see me there. By the time he gets to Holy Cross, I'm already in Holy Cross. He said, how are you doing it? I just left that. And me, I didn't know he was even coming to Holy Cross. Because I make sure I go to Tinubu first. And then, after a while, I just rush down to Holy Cross. I was even, jumping the gun now. Because while I was at Tinubu Methodist Church, when I became lieutenant there. And I started saying to myself that why can't we have a brigade in Holy Cross? Because at that time, the Catholic did not embrace the Boys Brigade at that time. And that was one of the reasons Timofilosi, Tinubu, Methodist Church at that time, okay, I think it's now time. But luckily, there was this guy in Catholic Church near Butemeta. What's the name of this Catholic Church? I will remember now. Ayovon. He has already started the Boys Brigade near Saint. I think Saint. What's the name? What's the name of it? I don't know if you know Butemeta very well. I will remember the name of the church. There's a Catholic church.
Okay.
Around Oyigboyelowa, around to recall him, Ibeni, the first Catholic church, got the Boys Brigade. Ayovon was from St. Jude. Butemeta. From there, he was just somebody like me too, who is a Catholic, was attending the Boys Brigade there. And then he started Boys Brigade. So they have already started. No, let me start my own too. So that's how I said Boys Brigade ni Holy Cross. Boys Brigade was Holy Cross. But as at that time, I was so much involved in Tinubu that I didn't know how to do it. So I didn't want to become the captain of the brigade Holy Cross, so that my ties will not be cut from Tinubu. So I said, after organizing the brigade Holy Cross, I said, okay, now we need a captain. And that's how we got the first captain of the Boys Brigade, Mr. Martinez. And I became the deputy captain to him, so that I can, my opportunity like my move from Tinubu to Holy Cross. And that was how I was doing that. By that time, I was already in the Boys Brigade. So I was training the band in the Tinubu, I was training the band in the Holy Cross, and I was combining all the two until something happened in the church, and they said, no, you have to be the captain. So I was made the captain, and that was how I left the Tinubu brigade. But I did not leave. Yes, I start concentrating on Holy Cross. And at that time, Holy Cross band then became one of the best in the country. I will not say in the States, in the country, to the extent that we were invited to State House to go and perform on one occasion. I think it was Obasanjo that was the head of state at that time, invited us to the State House Marina to go and perform. And then and that's how my Boys Brigade life is. And we start training the boys, and we start playing. And one unique thing at that time is that, in the Boys Brigade, we only play in one key.
Key of C.
That is the key of C.
Yeah.
And I did something. I started transposing the music, because most of the music we play in the military are in different keys. We have the ones we play in F, we have the one in G, yes. And we have the one that when it gets to a stage, it modulates. To there's change of keys there. So what I started doing is that I translate the Tony Sofa, in a way that the boys will think they are playing in C, but they're actually playing in F.
Yes, new key.
They are playing in new key, but they are using the Tony Sofa of C to play it. In a relative key. Relative key. Yeah. So that's how I actually, like, if you are playing in the key of F now, the F will become your do.
Yes.
Yeah. Do, re, mi, fa, so. Right. Now, if you are going to play that in C, your F will now become fa.
Fa.
Fa, sol, la, ti, do. So
it becomes fa.
Yeah, it becomes fa. In the key of C. So I just translate it to them. Like some of the music we played in the Navy in those days. you know, like Figaro, do re mi, da 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 la la, da 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 la 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 da da da, you know, and that one is in key of F, and normally it's supposed to be do re mi so do. Then I will translate this fa sol la ti re fa do fa, you know. I will change it. I will just translate it to them, and they will play in the key of F, and they don't know. They think they are still playing in the key of C, and that is how you are able to play so many instruments, so many music, you know, that I bring to them from the military, you know, and also introducing different parts to them. You know, I even brought some of my friends who are in the Navy, you know, to come and play with us, you know, and they were able to play. While that one is playing in the key of F, you know, we are playing in the key of C, not knowing that we are actually playing in the key of F, you know. And the same thing I did.
Trust me.
Okay.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Now, eti gbogbo àwọn so probably ṣe Gmix ní kí n pè ní àwọn nǹkan tí ẹ fi ń jẹ most of the battalions. Àwọn nǹkan yẹn lẹ. Because Children's Day, 27th of May, and Independence go. Wahala le man dale.
So I was going there before you caught me. You know, I remember during the burial of GBA Coca at Tinubu Methodist Church. First time ever, Boys Brigade Marco Hallelujah Chorus. You know, and we played it. Even the choir, choir Goleni. Up to today, the present chairman Lokweni have been president of Lagos Battalion Council. You know, support the split Battalion Council, Gonsin. In those days, we only had the Lagos and Ikeja Battalion Council. You know, but now we have Lagos Mainland, Ajegunle, and all those sort now. But the present chairman of the Battalion Council, what was his name again? Mani Kinipelu names. You know, anytime to bury me, the man of me, he was one of the band boys. We were not just Swanson. Was one of the band boys then. With that Hallelujah chorus, yeah, but we'll never forget it. And they were playing Hallelujah chorus in different key.
Come on.
And they all thought they were playing in C.
Transposition.
Honestly. And that is what killed it at that time. That is what killed it. Because of that idea I brought in. But now, you know, all of them are playing different keys now.
Yes.
But that was the only way Timole, if you make one play in different key without them knowing they are playing in different keys at that time. Because everybody is just that key of C. Yes. C, anything is C.
Natural.
You know, you know, so, and that was it. We thank God.
Hallelujah. Thank you. Yes, we have dealt with the Boys Brigade inside and out. And in the Boys Brigade, and this is going to be our exit to why we are going. Yeah, why we are here. I want only you mentioned those you were looking up to. I need to call you. I want to you know. But a man cross carpet. I love láti 18 love from Holy Cross lọ sí Tinubu. But aside the Holy Cross and Tinubu, ó láwọn ibì kọ̀ọ̀kan náà tẹ̀ ń lọ Boys Brigade tí gbogbo wa, you know, combined performance tá a máa ń ṣe. Àwọn wo lẹ́ ń look up to ń gbà yẹn tó jẹ́ pé no, àwọn eléyìí wà pa òtẹ́yìn náà mọ̀. Apart from kí lorúkọ gift yín àti expertise yín gbà yẹn tí everybody mọ̀. I want
I will mention some names. Laolu. Laolu. That boy, late Laolu, may God may so rest in peace. Laolu pẹ̀lú ọwọ́ ẹ̀yẹn. Pẹ̀lú ọwọ́ ẹ̀yẹn, àwọn yẹn máa fún fèrè in different rhythm.
I'm telling you.
I tell you. Then we come to Debo, my twin brother from another mother. Debo Norma Williams. Debo, play for me.
For me, I love your music.
I love your music. Ìgbà yẹn, tí mo sọ pé Lagos Island àti Lagos Mainland our apart ìgbà yẹn. Debo fọwọ́ mú Lagos Mainland. Àwa fọwọ́ mú Island. And nǹkan táwọn fi mú wọn tí Lagos Debo gan padà wá sí Island gbà tó di pé show sí ní Mainland mọ́. Because gbogbo a máa padà sí gbókù ẹ̀ o. Gbogbo òkúta ń gbé gbà ẹ́ Lagos ní gbogbo majority of them wà. From Ologbowo to Ikoyi. From Holy Trinity to Ikoyi. From Tinubu to Ikoyi. Everything Ikoyi in the center. So the boy is there, and there's another guy called Fatumbi. He's late now also. We were both in the Navy. He's senior me in the Navy.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was of the Lass and Lasses Brigade in those days. Ni Kiloruko, our church to after Tinubu, after Central Bank. Our church come and bear. I can't remember. African Lass
and Lasses.
African Lass and Lasses.
Yes.
Church here one baby.
United Methodist Church.
United Methodist Church.
Yes.
Yes. Fatumbi, Omulo head àwọn Lass and Lasses. I want to mention clothing placing Children's Day. Independence Day. Taba lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn tí brigade bá wà báyìí Lass and Lasses ní.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
Àwọn ní white and black.
Yes.
Our white and blue la wa.
Yes.
So Fatumbi yẹn àwọn tó ẹ pé contemporary so that pé yes mo sì ní pé yes I bow for them. They bow náà ṣe bow fún mi. If not bow fún wọn. So Debo àbúrò Debo yìí kí lorúkọ ẹ̀? Gbẹ̀gẹ́ àwọn Gbẹ̀gẹ́
Baba Boyo
àwọn Baba Boyo àwọn Fakolu Jos all the Fakolu Jos Tunde Fakolu Jo Ajayi Craig Femi Scott gbogbo àwọn yẹn we are all contemporaries we have okay, another occasion that man pàdé again. Òun ni mo sọ̀rọ̀ pa Palm Sunday tó gbé mi.
Òun ni
that Palm week yẹn, ìkànnì.
I tell you.
Competition ni. Because I remember in those days, on Saturday, Saturday láti máa ń bẹ̀rẹ̀. Saturday, láàárọ̀ Saturday, a lọ sí Ìkòyí gbogbo federal secretariat Ìkòyí yẹn igbó ní gbogbo bẹ̀ yẹn ibẹ̀ láti máa ń lọ gé pub tábà ti lọ gé àwa submit ẹ̀ sí Wesley Church Ìkòyí tábà ti submit àwa padà lọ sílé tó bá ti di nǹkan bí 4 o'clock each company àwa bẹ̀rẹ̀ band marching band lélẹ́yìí o full uniform Tinubu á bẹ̀rẹ̀ tiẹ̀ Holy Cross tó lọ àjọ ìwọ̀n later olówó gbowó àwọn yẹn máa gbé láti olówó gbowó apọ́gbọ̀n lọ́run láti máa gbé tí wọ́n máa bọ̀ then Holy Trinity Èbúté-Èrò gbogbo a máa match lọ sí Ọbalẹ̀ndé ní Wesley Church tábà débẹ̀ wọ́n wá ṣe short service fún wa
exactly
lórí palms yẹn wọ́n wá divide each palms fún each company tó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ ìgbà ìlà ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ máa kó palm yẹn àwa bẹ̀rẹ̀ dancing la máa jó
Serious one.
Tó ti kálukú bá ti dé junction tí abẹ́sí branch. Èkó máa ń dùn gbà yẹn.
Different destinations.
Tó bá tún wá di alẹ́, a tún máa ń pàdé ní procession kan. Ká lọ ó ti alẹ́ yẹn gan wá ní. A fẹ́ lọ rí Jésù, a máa dún mọ́jú Lagos Island yẹn.
Oh my God.
Ìgbà yẹn làwọn dépò gbogbo wọn máa wá láti ibi tó ti ń bọ̀, gbogbo wọn máa wá síbẹ̀ yẹn. A máa gbé láti omi tútù kan láti máa ń gbé procession yẹn. Tó bá di Sunday, àwọn oníkálukú wá wà ní church wọn. Ìgbà yẹn làwọn àgbẹ̀ ọjà yẹn ti lọ sí church tiwọn. Ṣẹ́jú dèbùsẹ̀ mẹ́ta ti lọ sí church. Because during service.
Easter day nìyẹn.
Ní Sunday yẹn, ní Sunday, Palm Sunday yẹn.
Okay, Palm Sunday, yes.
Palm Sunday yẹn.
Okay, yes.
Each churches, kò sí combine mọ́. Each individual church now will now come out for their own procession.
Yes.
You know, so that Palm Sunday week here is always a busy day, and up to today, yes. I always miss that day because Mawa, even anywhere at Mawa, all over the world, that week. Now that I'm even the Celestial now, we always have a program from Friday till Monday. I always feel as if King branch King Law Boys Brigade me. Kamashi program, yeah, you know. So we thank God for everything.
But you know, there were times, maybe years back, after Timo Debbie by, we'll try Lati Law about 2 to 3 times. Lati Law experience, I couldn't hold it. But when I feel low, could that be more?
Yeah, it's a situation in the country.
Could that be more? Anyway, so far so good. Viewers, this is Brass Band Chronicles, the history of brass band in the southwest of Nigeria. And in the house, we have our legend, Baba Apanari. You know, I am linking from Denmark, connecting him in the United Kingdom. So he's the one in the house, and so far, my Baba dish out, and I want to say kudos to Baba. Baba Eshe.
Eshe.
So I want to now see probably the commercial side of the issue now, because Bubu Baye time play ni Boys Brigade here, events. Social events, boya burial ni, boya wọ́n fi hàn joyè ni, patron or matron ṣe birthday ni o, whatever. Wọ́n ṣáà invite our Boys Brigade. But the Godway stage, wá rí bákan, ṣe understand? Ó rí bákan kò easy láti jáde because Boys Brigade feel pé, no, Boys Brigade is not meant for pé kéèyàn kàn máa lọ fún social functions. No. Yeah, wọ́n lè lọ, but ó ti ń pọ̀ jù. So, embargo wa lórí outing yẹn gbà yẹn. Then our boys náà wá fi pé èmi ò fẹ́ target pé wọ́n wà rebellious, but nǹkan kan ṣẹlẹ̀, and that takes us to the commercial aspect of it. Wọ́n máa ń owó tabá pàǹgbà yẹn, anything tí Boys Brigade bá realize, wọ́n máa kó lọ church ni. So, but mo ṣe ní wọ́n commercialize ẹ̀ ní afterwards. Tó bá máa lọ fún any event, owó yẹn lọ sápò. So mo ṣe sọ pé ó ti wà commercialized, and that is the gbokos. Mo mọ̀ pé ẹ ṣe gbokos.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Without missing words and without contradictions, what can you say about the history of gbokos, Egbon?
Okay. I will say that without the Boys Brigade, I doubt it, boya when there's plenty can you buy.
No, oti tilt.
All right, it's okay.
But you are cool, man.
My partner, okay, let me see. But I'm going to say bye now. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Now, without the Boys Brigade, as at that time, I doubt it whether we will have what is called Bokos today. Because the Bokos actually originated from the Boys Brigade. We started it. Now, in those days, when a patron or a matron or patroness of the Boys Brigade or members of the Boys Brigade or people to ní ọmọ ní Boys Brigade, tó bá ṣe nǹkan nìkan lè máa rí Boys Brigade ń bẹ̀.
Yes.
And as at that time, tá bá lọ fún burial, a máa ń match níwájú ni iwájú house yẹn ni.
Yes.
You will see the drum major, you will see the full band, coming out and marching. Where tá bá ti ṣe tán, tá bá ń bọ̀ lé, la máa dá sí rough lóníjó.
Yes.
La máa gbé wọn délé, tá bá délé la máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí play, tá máa lẹ̀ wá lówó kankan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn.
Yes.
Now, gradually, àwọn tí ó ń ṣe member Boys Brigade or don't need any connection with the Boys Brigade, they started feeling jealous because that's the only tẹ́lẹ̀ tó bá gbòkú lọ, wọ́n kàn máa kọrin tẹ̀lé òkú lẹ́yìn ni. Orin ẹni lọ fi kọrin yẹn. Even bó bímọ bí òbí mọ gan ẹni lọ máa fi kọ. Ẹnu ni. Nígbà tí Boys Brigade tá bá match lọ tán, tá bá padà dé, tá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí play orin yẹn pẹ̀lú ìlú wa. People be dancing. Then ó wá tó stage ló rẹ́ pé tá bá tún wá lọ, àtúwá instead of máa fi máa match yẹn, ó tún tó stage ó wá move up to pé ká máa instead of having match níwájú, although I see wọ uniform wa o, a bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí play orin ijó yẹn tẹ̀lé wọn lẹ́yìn. It is from there ló ti ń develop into, ìpínlẹ̀ tí pé ní gbókò sí sìn. Ló ti ń develop into the brass band performing, for people. And people start feeling pé, so our Boys Brigade nìkan ló play kìíní. Ó dàbí àwọn lodge ni in those days. Ẹni pé tí òkú lodge bá kú, nìkan lè máa láwọn lodge bẹ́ẹ̀.
Procession.
Lè máa láwọn lodge bẹ́ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú procession ni wọ́n bẹ̀.
Yes.
The lodge does not come out for anybody.
No.
Not their member. That is how Boys Brigade was in those days. So you either have a child in the Boys Brigade, or you are a patron of the Boys Brigade, or you are a member of the Boys Brigade. Boys Brigade will jáde fún ẹ. And when that thing started happening, people started feeling jealous to the extent that even in a church, you see some parents man lọ force àwọn ọmọ wọn kó lọ join Boys Brigade.
Boys Brigade.
So that bá kú, kí Boys Brigade wá lùlù fáwọn.
On first irú ceremony yẹn, yes.
Yeah, wọ́n fẹ́ irú ceremony yẹn, and we started doing that until when people tí wọ́n ti ní anything to do with the Boys Brigade now pulling us behind. Ẹ̀yin Boys Brigade wà, èlò lè máa take yín láti wá lùlù fún wa. And then they give us, and then another thing tó sọ ni pé tá bá lọ gbà yẹn, tí sọ pé official engagement là ń lọ, ẹni owó tó bá lẹ̀ wá gbà yẹn, everything goes to the purse of the church. We're only doing it voluntarily.
Yes.
As our interest. We're even happy doing it. We didn't even think about the money.
Yes.
Not until but the one pay was saying, tá máa fún wa lówó, tá máa lọ wá, tá máa smuggle jáde ní church. Tá máa smuggle jáde ní church láti lọ play. And a rí pé nígbà kan o, tá bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, a ṣe mú percentage kan sílẹ̀ church o. But ìgbà tó wá tó stage kan, 4%. Sorry for my language.
Baba, it's okay, sir.
you know, over to stage kan tẹ́ pé owó yẹn wá wọ̀ wá lójú. Working release it because we now start doing it without the knowledge of anyone. You know, because our Baba vestry gbà yẹn. I'm talking about Tinubu sika tó lọ sí Holy Cross. Holy Cross yẹn tẹ̀ wá lè díẹ̀. Now, our Baba vestry yẹn nìkan ló máa mọ táì tá máa wá tàbádẹ̀ tí ń bọ̀ a máa fún bàbá ní nǹkan kan. You know, a máa fún bàbá ní nǹkan kan. But when I got to Holy Cross, you know, Catholic is a very
organized.
Very organized. Very
strict.
They reorganized the Boys Brigade in a way that you dare not do all those things. And I remember at that time, we used to have one of our chaplain in those days called Omisheson. That Baba was one of the strictest priest I ever knew.
Baba Omisheson.
Baba Omisheson, if you have heard of him. Baba in foreign church. When you don't dress properly, when you don't behave properly in church, he can slap you. When you are coming for Holy Communion and so the preach, they look, when Jesus Christ entered the temple and he saw people, you know, messing up his father's house.
Yes,
this thing, straw. In church. I will use koboko to drive you out of this church. This is my father's house.
Father's house.
Yes, so you don't come here to misbehave. So there's orderliness in Catholic Church. And to the extent where àwọn ẹlẹ́nu gbọ̀rọ̀ kan wọ́n á lọ bòsì fún bàbá yẹn wọ́n mọ̀ pé bí wàá ṣe jẹ́ pé àwọn Boys Brigade yóò máa try gan o táwọn bá pè wọ́n sí occasion báyìí láti fún wọn lówó tábà ti bu rẹ́sì díẹ̀ fún wọn báyìí wọ́n play lọ ní bàbá ní sọ táwọn àwọn mú ẹ tó bá pẹ́ àwọn mú ẹ ní tábà ti bu rẹ́sì fún wọn àgbà ó kàn báyìí wá from going to play for other patrons àbí matrons no they just ban us. You know, that we have to start sneaking until, you know, things start getting better. And also, the Archbishop of Lagos, then, Olubunmi Okoje, had interest in us because before they could allow Boys Brigade in the Catholic Church, they studied everything and they realized, you know, it's solely for the church and how they can, you know, incorporate it into their own doctrine. After. So that is why the Brigade of Holy Cross was almost, you know, different to most of the Boys Brigade when we started, because the church was monitoring us every step we do. We did at that time. And the patrons and patronesses, they were in our full support. We have patrons in those days that, you know, every enrollment service was Amanche camp 4 or 5 days before the enrollment service. In fact, from the camp at Imawasi Church, for enrollment service was. And usually our camp is at Obalende until your guest school, Obalende. One of our patrons was the principal of that school. So my school left for 5 days, from Thursday, Wednesday, before our enrollment service till Sunday. Sunday yẹn ibẹ̀ láti máa dress up akẹ́rù wa sínú mọ́tò àmà lọ́wọ́jà máa match láti Ọbalẹ́ndé dé church ni. So the Boys Brigade of Holy Cross was so unique in everything we are doing in those days. Now coming back to what we are talking about, you know, that is how gradually the Boys Brigade started, you know, turning into commercial thing. You know, I won't still call it Bokos yet. You know?
Yes.
And when this happened, and other people who are not members of the Boys Brigade started inviting us, and we started removing that Boys Brigade uniform, you know, before we go to play. Because normally, when they even invite us like that, about the Sanwogon, it's labeled Boys Brigade. Even that about our uniform and the Boys Brigade t-shirt with our logo. So they still feel boys brigade don't play. So when it started, metamorphosing into something else, besides removing the T-shirt, we started getting drums from somewhere else without the logo,
The emblem, the boys brigade emblem is get eradicated.
Eradicated. So tẹ́lẹ̀ boys brigade band ló máa ń pè wá. Ẹ bá pa àwọn boys brigade yẹn kó wá play. Ẹ bá pa àwọn boys brigade yẹn kó wá bá gbókù wa. Tó bá ti fẹ́ ṣe burial, ẹ ní pé boys brigade ni bó ṣe máa ń ṣe gbà yẹn nìyẹn. Until when we started removing that thing, just the boys brigade ibẹ̀ mọ́, and they don't know what to call us again. They know how to pay. We are always at that time. It's mainly for burial. It's to from Thursday, Friday, by the batting buffet back wọ́n ti òkú tí ń bọ̀ ní àwọn tó àwọn yẹn máa sáré jáde lé wọn Lagos Island nígbà yẹn báwọn kan ṣe ń lọ làwọn kan kọjá báwọn kan ṣe ń lọ làwọn kan kọjá lọ so and we are always going for burial, and a lot of people have talked about this man Sunday Gboku gbà yẹn. So and when that word Gboku and boys brigade tí wọ́n wọ uniform tó ń ṣe boys brigade mọ́ sí òkúdè làwọn eléyìí máa ń lọ́sìn gbé.
Ẹ tún ti débi.
Lórí gbókòs. Àkọ́kọ́ pé wàá gbà yẹn àwọn gbókòs from gbókù ó di gbókòs. No, ó di gbókù ẹ̀. From gbókù ó di gbókù ẹ̀. Kí gbókù ẹ̀ tó di gbókòs. Gbókòs yẹn ló wá start. By the time tó máa fi di gbókòs yẹn, mind you, àwa ti ṣe ìwọ̀n tá a lè ṣe, because I left Nigeria at a very early time. I left Nigeria.
When was that?
Nigeria 1991. And Gbokosoti developed into what it has developed into now, as at that time. So I left. I was in the Navy 1980 to 1990.
My university days.
You see. I was in the Navy from 1980 to 1990. Then, when I finished in the Navy, because normally I wasn't up to retirement age at that time. Normally in the Navy at that time, you only sign 10 years, and after 10 years, you have to sign another 8 years after the first 10 years. And 15 years is pension. Is it pension? I think it's pension age. A pension age is 15 years. But they make you sign 8 years. So that you have to pass that 15 years before you can actually get your pension. So when it was to the 10 years, I just say I'm going because my dad is already in UK, wanted me to come back, to UK here. So after that 10 years, while I was processing my papers to come down, the Archbishop of Lagos, then Olubunmi Okoje, because of the work I've done in the Boys Brigade in the church there, heard that I was leaving. I have already left Navy. As at that time, luckily, the music teacher in St. Mary's Private School, because the Catholic Church has a school, St. Mary's Private School, even though they have St. Mary Convent and Holy Cross, they are all under the Catholic Church at that time, but there's a particular one which is the private school, St. Mary. The teacher there, Apado Regos, was actually retiring at that time. So by Bishop Kimalo teach music St. Mary's Private School, pending the time to travel without having any teaching qualification or anything. I started teaching music there, and luckily, I would say most of the people, the kids there, are already my Boys Brigade member in Holy Cross. So the first thing they did, I introduced there, was the band, because they didn't have school band at that time. So the first thing I did was to introduce the school band, into the school, and it was, it turned the school, around. That was the first time they were having, during the assembly, they will be able to march with their own band and with their own students playing it. And some of those who have already been playing in the Boys Brigade already, they were in the band in the school there. So they started playing to the extent I had one testimony. Yeah. Yeah, I'll share it. One of my boys in the Boys Brigade, his name is John Paul Miranda. The mother was one of our strong patrons, patroness. Not only the mother, the grandmother was also our, what we call her, grand patron. So this boy was one of my boys in the Boys Brigade, and I made him the captain of the band in the school. I didn't, all these things, I didn't even know. So when I finally left the school after a year, I was to travel. Then Archbishop called me that I have to replace myself with somebody. Then I remember there's one boy, one of my mentees, Jide Fatilewa. He's late now. His father was the administrator Methodist Church. Vicar ni àbí
Anglican ni mí.
Anglican nìyẹn. Wọ́n ní ló wà in charge Tinubu Methodist Church at that time. The father, the Archbishop, it was Archbishop Fatilewa. Okay. He's late now also. We became like a family friend. He has 4 sons, and I influenced all the 4 sons into either playing trumpet or studying music. The one that is playing, one of them, Sheye Fatilewa, is also late now. Sheye. Sheye tó bá rí mi báyìí, ọ̀gá mi ni. Sheye Fatilewa. Àwọn iná fún yéye.
Clergy lòun náà sìn.
He was one of the wayward sons of that man. Yes. But he was the one that became a clergy.
He was the
one that became a clergy. So it was because of me. Even the senior brother, Jide, went to study music. I had to take Jide to go and replace me in school. Yeah, he became the music teacher there. So years after, this boy Miranda wrote me a complaint text message on Messenger, which probably I did not read new Kotia Yemi. But early this year, I stayed in Nigeria for almost 3 years. Nigeria, my father got tight there, and is married to the wife is the deputy speaker of Lagos House of Assembly. So my approach boy, àbúrò ẹ̀ obìnrin, àwọn yẹn bó ṣe máa ń treat mi tí wọ́n wá ṣe captain wa, everywhere tí wọ́n lọ, they pay for everything. Ó máa send the Uber kó wá gbé mi, anywhere, anything tí wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ, so ó wá ní ọmọ ẹ̀gbọ́n yẹn fẹ́ ṣe birthday, ó wá gbé mi lọ síbẹ̀. And I have not seen that boy since I left over almost 30 years. So by daily by Kojoko ni, but my brother to go. Oh, I be going ghost ni. So he better confess me. When send the text message causing me long time ago. Basically, me reading. Oh, you believe me? Oh, Lord, why lórí Facebook? For me. He was complaining to me, after I left, there's politics in everywhere. But after I left the school, I won. Mo for a captain. There's one boy, that Jide as the teacher.
Yes.
Jídé wá because ọmọ olówó yẹn máa ń gbé oúnjẹ ó máa ń gbé kó wá fún ó máa ń mú apple wá
My
fún
God.
títà yẹn ó wá fẹ́ fìyẹn ṣe captain wá fẹ́ yọ òun kúrò.
Naija level.
Ó ní àwọn tó òun á ní àwọn supporter àwọn á ní rárá okay if that's the case we have to do election. Ó ní ṣé màmá tòun kétra ni màmá yẹn ló máa wà lára àwọn tó máa ń sponsor wa ní brigade nígbà yẹn tàbá wà camp ó máa gbóúnjẹ wá fún wa nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn wá lọ every day wọ́n tó ṣe election yẹn ó máa ń gbé rice wá fún àwọn supporters yẹn àwọn yẹn wá jẹun yó wọ́n wá vote fún wọ́n tún wá re-elect ó wá fẹ́ ẹjọ́ ẹ̀ ló gba tí mo ka kí ni I was so moved.
Yeah.
I was so moved ó ń fẹjọ́ Reverend Fatile títà àwọn ẹ̀sùn mi pé kọ́ báyìí ló ṣe you know I can even send that copy to you later. I will send
Please.
it to you. I will send it to you. I will send it to you. I was ìjọ yẹn mo wá ka kí ni I was so moved and I've even sent a message to him after that but I didn't actually read that message.
My God. Yeah.
And later wọ́n wò pé ṣé mo kọ́ kan mo sọ pé dágbà tí òkè tẹ́ bá dàgbà ọmọ ẹ̀ ló máa ń mú.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
I was hooked with my flight coming back. You should send me text message in here, pushing ẹ̀gbọ́n, I send the account in me. He paid for my travel, my flight ticket back to London.
Oh my God.
You know?
Wow.
So, yeah, he paid for my flight ticket back to London. And another thing, December last year, January, January today, this is my prayer point. My prayer point was my
God, can you imagine?
Yeah, that was my prayer point. I went to Imeko ni pilgrimage every December la máa ń ṣe ní Nigeria. That was ní Celestia. That was my prayer point ní Imeko. One of the days I gbé mi pàdé boy yìí padà through ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ̀ through àbúrò ẹ̀. Bí ṣe sọ mi tiẹ̀ bó ṣe ní send your account to me nìyẹn. And that time the ticket did there one go tí mo yín ké bá mo ṣe máa ṣe and I had to come back because of my health. You know, and online mo fi padà sí mo fi padà sí missing. We thank God for all those things.
Àwọn iṣẹ́ takuntakun tẹ́ ṣe lẹ́yìn.
You know, ṣe sọ pé irú àwa débọ̀ gbogbo àtàṣe wà láyé sìn tọ́lọ̀ ṣe fún wa lẹ́mìí gúgùn báyìí sìn not until tá a bá lọ tán anything tá a bá máa ṣe award tá a bá máa ṣe award la kárí lójú ayé wa sìn. Compensate wa lójú ayé wa sìn.
Wow.
Èyí tó wà l'Amẹ́ríkà invite wa sí Amẹ́ríkà bó ṣe 1 week la máa lò pẹ̀lú yín ká jẹun sí lọ́rùn.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni ẹ̀gbọ́n. This is one of the things tá a ṣe sílẹ̀.
Yes.
Kì í ṣe pé tó bá kú àní rí gbogbo yẹn. Gbogbo èrè tó bá fún gbogbo owó tó bá dáńgbà yẹn we will not see. Bẹ́ẹ̀ tẹ̀ fún mi kọ́bọ̀. But if you invite me, ètè wá, ó dẹ̀ ti happen. Kì í ṣe pé mo kàn sọ ni ó ti happen. Òun ló ṣẹlẹ̀ sí mi.
Yes.
Òun ló ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí. You know, I'm happy to mention the boy's name. I'm happy to, to give the testimony, of what happened.
The testimony is uplifting, man.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Another one tó tún ṣẹlẹ̀ sí mi ní church mi bí ní UKB about 2 months ago. Ọmọ pastor, shepherd mi, ó ṣe birthday. Ó wá invite a friend of his to my preach. Usually, only that day for the opportunity to invite. So the boy to our preach join. The preaching was fantastic. I didn't recognize him. So after the service, the boy called about me. Only, sir, have you taught in Brampton Manor before? Money, yes. Are you Mr. Apanari? Only, yes. Only you are my music teacher.
Come on.
You are my music teacher. This is young man tó put in new room ó ti mi ò tiẹ̀ mọ̀ mọ́. Mo kọjá lára bí ẹ̀mejì look of after mi ni pé Are you Mr. Apanari? Yes, you are my music. Wait, this is my music teacher. Everybody, you know, this is my music teacher. This is my music. You don't make me go to meet Lola Ray because you know. Only if you remember me that time, I was one of your favorites. I used to come, you know, I was one of your favorites in those days. You know, we are talking about almost 25 years ago.
Oh, yes.
You know, so that is why we are saying, you know, all those things we were doing at that time, we were just doing it. You know, doing it, you know, pé I was saying, and we thank God pé gbogbo àwọn tí a jọ ń ṣe gbà yẹn, we are still. Ìgbà tí mi àti Débọ̀ pàdé lánàá, à ń sọ kankan. Because very few of us that just ṣe gbogbo kíní ẹ̀ gbà yẹn, láàkín mutí, láàmú sìgá. You know, ibi tá a ti lọ jẹun lánàá, omi nìkan la mú. Ó ní ara ènìyàn, ó ní gbogbo àwọn boys tó ń mutí, tó ń mu sìgá, tó ń mu gbó, tó ń mu gbogbo ẹ̀. Àwọn where are they today?
Ibo tí ẹ̀ náà ti kọ́, ibo náà ti rí.
Ibo náà ti rí. Ibo náà ti rí. Àwọn ẹlòmíràn, àní ìgbà tí mo wà Navy band, because Navy band, when you are in the Navy band, wọ́n believe pé tó bá tí mo gbó, bá mo gbó ní gbogbo àwọn tó wà ní band. Àwọn yẹn máa ń bí pé, and you are in the band, you don't drink, you don't smoke. I don't have to drink and smoke for me to be able to perform now.
Imagine.
But now, boys, some of them, you know, it doesn't take them. Where are they today? Look at the mass of our young say, I'll be 63. Nobody will believe me. Nobody will believe me. They will not believe. They will say, no, you are lying. You are lying. You know, but
ever young,
you know, look at, you know, so ó tún pẹ̀lú pé bá ṣe gbéra wá gbà yẹn, àdúgbò táwa dàgbà sí, campus tá dàgbà sí, Ìtẹ́kù gbòòrò ní campus yẹn, Ìtẹ́kù gbòòrò.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ilé àwọn amúgbó ni. Tá bá play báyọ̀ máa seize bọ́ọ̀lù wa, wọ́n á ní ká lọ ra gbó wá ní wọ́n fún wa lówó, wá fún wa lábọ́, ká lọ rúnjẹ, ká tó gbé bọ́ọ̀lù wa fún wọn, ká lọ ra gbó, ká lọ rúnjẹ. Mi ò fẹ́ mi kan igbó rí láì gbàdọ̀ dídí. Gbogbo àdúgbò wa báyìí corner junction wọ́n máa ń gbó bẹ̀ ni. Most of our reps àjọ rìn outside boys brigade, gbogbo ọlọ́mú tí lọ́mú gbó. Mi ò fẹ́ ní kan gbórí, mi ò fẹ́ ní ọdún a lè mú tí ká ṣe díẹ̀, but I don't think, you know, anymore.
So, Egbon, I'm going to say thank God for Sir William A. Smith.
Alexander Smith. For founding the Boys Brigade.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
And for giving us the opportunity.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, sir. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Yes, and the privilege.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, sir.
Boys Brigade made me what I am today. I told you at the beginning, that old cornet, recruitment,
yes.
Yeah. Oh. And I became the best of my team, of my this team. Wow. I was composing most of the music. Timo composed music once in Navy, once he played in Omolanke, Sweet Banana. Sonia Day.
Egbon, you compose Omolanke?
If you compose Omolanke, Team Nigeria Navy band in play. I composed it. Sweet Banana, I composed it. Our mates, meaning Navy, Omolanke, Loman baby.
Wow. Wow.
Sweet Banana. Sweet Banana. Yes. I arranged it for the Navy band to play. So many of my music, they are still playing it today in the Navy band.
Me ever more pay arrangement in the show.
Arrangement meaning. Wow. Omolanke. 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 Because when you
oh my God.
Yeah. I composed it. I arranged it for the brass band, for the Navy band to play. And military band are playing it everywhere today. Everywhere today. So many of them like that.
Wow.
But we thank God. Like I said, I use the influence in the Navy on the Boys Brigade, and I use my influence on the Boys Brigade in the Navy. You know? So even some of our songs in the Boys Brigade, I arrange it for the Navy band to play.
Bros me.
Yeah.
Please. Mo fọwọ́ àtọmọ dín lẹ́nu.
Okay.
Then play ti gbókò sí yẹn.
Yes.
Ṣé rántí wọ́n máa ń pa owó sí àpò church, àpò Boys Brigade nígbà yẹn. Báwo lẹ ṣe máa ń ṣe owó tó bá wọlé? Báwo lẹ ṣe
yeah, you know, ó dà kí mo ti fi ẹnu bá díẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan yẹn.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń pín owó.
Mo ti fa bẹ́ẹ̀ mo ní tẹ́lẹ̀.
Yes.
Tó bá ní ká tá bá lọ sí occasion Boys Brigade, when Boys Brigade was Boys Brigade, all the money goes to the brigade. But nígbà tá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí tó ti ń di brass band, tá ti ń bọ́ṣọ brigade kúrò.
Yes.
Àwa la lówó wa. So nothing goes for.
Nǹkan tí mo mean ni pé ṣé flat rate ni àbí ṣé division sí, you know? Báwo lẹ ṣe pín owó yẹn ń gbà yẹn?
Ó dà pé ń gbà yẹn o. Ó dà pé ń gbà yẹn. We are so honest. Flat rate la máa ń ṣe. Flat rate la máa ń ṣe.
But the red bunny.
Àti onílù o, àti oní trumpet o, nígbà yẹn o, gbogbo wa àjọ máa pín dọ́gbadọ́gba ni.
Àti owó tó fi pè yín.
Owó tó fi pè wá. Owó tó fi pè wá àti owó tá a ná ń bẹ̀. Because most cases owó tó tẹ̀ kọ́ pé owó tó fi pè wá yẹn a máa lọ fi rent instrument ni. Owó tó fi pè wá yẹn because nǹkan dàbí ń sìn tó yẹ pé wà so honest nígbà yẹn tó yẹ pé iye tá bá fi rent instrument yẹn gan iye la máa pè fún àwọn èèyàn. You know, so adẹ wa bank lórí iye tó máa ná fún wa tá a bá máa kúrò bẹ́ẹ̀.
Yes.
Wọ́n dẹ̀ náwó fún wa yẹn, owó yẹn a máa pín equally ni. When you are talking about my contemporaries that time, there's one boy you might not know him, called Baluku Banta. Very short, very close friend, very short guy like this. Won't play something side drum. He winning. But bó ṣe kúrú sí yẹn, tí máa mess up, á ní bó ṣe ga sí yẹn ní ṣe máa mú ẹ bọ́lẹ̀.
Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ẹ̀dẹ̀ ga.
Àwọn ẹ̀dẹ̀ ga. Á ní wò ó. Á ní bó ṣe ga yẹn ní ṣe máa mú ẹ bọ́lẹ̀. O tó bá rí kiri náà, ó kúrú báyìí. Nǹkan tó yẹ pé Baluku, there was a time when we were young. There's one Agere, I don't know, so Agere, àwọn Agere yẹn tó máa ń.
Tó máa ń torí ọ̀pá sẹ́sẹ̀.
Tó máa ń ọ̀pá nìyẹn. Òun gbà tó wà kékeré, òun ní Agere ẹ̀làǹkè la máa ń pè. Baluku ló máa ń pè Agere yẹn. Òun ní Agere yẹn máa ń gbé kọ́rùn tó máa fi ń ṣe display. You know, so nígbà tó máa fi dàgbà kò ga ju bó ṣe wà yẹn náà lọ. You know. So but ó play àjọwà Tinubu ni ó play drums gan. So orú yẹn tá bá bẹ̀ díẹ̀ pé a fẹ́ pín àwa trumpet ọ̀tọ̀ onílù ọ̀tọ̀ á ní wò tí bá kí ẹ mọ́lẹ̀ wò. So òun ni ò fún wa ní confidence lẹ́yìn láti máa ní pé à ń share owó according to instrument or performance. Everybody will share it equally.
That's right.
Yeah. Because we were not that greedy at that time. Owó is not the main thing that fi jáde gbà yẹn, because majority of us, you know, it is not our main occupation. We just do it as side something. And we are enjoying ourselves. We are not there because of the money. And every one of us, we go to school, we come back, and that is why you see today that all of us, 99.9 of us, are well-to-do, education-wise. Nowadays, maybe you are still going to come to the question of comparison of nowadays and then. Okay, can I jump?
It's in future, it's coming. Yes, okay. Sir. All right. God bless you, sir.
Yeah.
I am so overwhelmed. Along. Let's go. And I'm going to ask you, sir, it is a sharing formula, flat rate.
Yeah.
Owó tó fi pè ń gbà ẹ àti whatever, and ẹ wà faithful láàrin ara yín. Ó tiẹ̀ wà, that is nǹkan tó, nǹkan táwa bá nìyẹn, you know. Why ti ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ ń pa ẹ̀ ní problem of wípé ẹni tó bá ti gba show àbẹ́ni tó wá bá tán sanwó fún òun ló ní gbogbo owó yẹn, then àwọn boys wọ́n máa lọ bank on nǹkan tán bá spray wọn. Kò yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Kò yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. So anyway, ẹ ti clarify ẹ̀, and inú mi dùn àwọn tó ń wo fídíò yìí wọ́n máa rí bó ṣe yẹ. That is lára legacy. I mean, how am I going to put it now? The virtue àwọn nǹkan tẹ́ filẹ̀ táwa bá ń gbà yẹn. Ẹ ṣe ẹ̀kan. A máa compare Gbokos àti Boys Brigade. Lẹ́yìn tẹ́ bá máa compare Gbokos àti Boys Brigade, that is the A, and the B part is mo máa fún yín ní intro kan. It's an arrangement kind of, but introduction ni.
Okay.
Tẹ́ máa ń lò ń gbà yẹn. Shabadabada papa para.
Papa.
Idebeda pada para.
Papa.
Shabadabada papa para. Shabadabada para papa. Oh yeah.
Parala.
So
it just bring my memory back.
Apanari's arrangement nìyẹn.
Yes.
So Tebati compare Boys Brigade and Gbokos. Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ yànnàná kẹ́ bá wa sọ ń pa kẹ́ highlight. That is the impact of expertise in knowledge in àwọn nǹkan tẹ́ kọ́ ní military ní Boys Brigade ńgbà yẹn. Though àwa mọ̀, but mo fẹ́ kẹ́ share.
Okay. Firstly, like I noticed, without the Boys Brigade, there's no Gbokos.
Yes.
That you saw how the Boys Brigade metamorphosed into Gbokos, of the day. And at that time, during our own time, we were just doing it for doing sake. And we were doing it for the interest we have, first for the music, Boys Brigade, and everything. My going to the military was inspired by my experience in the Boys Brigade.
Boys Brigade, yes.
And I went to Nigerian Navy School of Music, where I learned a lot. And before that time, I was under the tutorage of Park Repi School of Music, where I did my up to grade 6 of Associate Board of Royal School of Music exams. Yeah. And with all this experience combined together, I was able to come back to the Boys Brigade and inspire a lot of boys, even girls. I remember in Tunde that day, I would not finish this interview without mentioning, I've mentioned Jide Fatilewa, I've mentioned Sheye Fatilewa, and there's another young man who is even taller than me, Walter Bossman.
Walter,
Walter, you don't get any me.
He show.
Yeah.
Walter
was one of my boys, immediate boys.
Wọ́n ní Walter wà pẹ̀lú yín ní UK now.
Àjọ wa UK ni ó ti padà sí Nàìjíríà. Àjọ wa UK.
Ẹ máa connect mi pẹ̀lú ẹ̀.
Àjọ wa UK tẹ́lẹ̀ ni.
So ṣé kò sí UK mọ́?
No, ó ti padà sí Nàìjíríà sí.
Okay.
I saw him in Nigeria the last time I came to Nigeria.
Okay.
He's really doing well, yeah. He was he's still in the choir, Tinubu.
Wow.
Still doing really well there. Walter Bossman, Peace Hauve, the Hauve family. From Badagry, they're from Badagry.
Yes.
Peace, he was my girlfriend at that time, in Boys Brigade that time. I got a near what Amamuda Ningbaye, you know, Egwe, Molara and Philomena, you know, a lot of people in the Boys Brigade at that time. And I remember training them, using the experience in the military to train them. No, I'm not with one thing about my band at that time. I'm not too much interested or too much concerned about what you are playing. Although what you are playing, your sound, you know, is of importance to me. But another thing about me is that, which is what I still see in the brigade today, so might irritate me. But the brigade in the northern part and the south part of the country has got this right is the drill.
Mm.
You know, you see the Boys Brigade in Lagos, they are still doing it now, playing and working as if one while on teloku.
Majestic.
Majestic, that they are playing marching band, marching music. And you see, you can never see my band member playing and not marching to the right, to the music they are playing. I taught them to the extent that you have to recognize between the strong and the weak
Beat
beat.
and the weak beat. Mm.
And the strong beat must always come on your left leg.
Legs. Yeah.
So when you are playing music and you forget yourself and you are playing and you definitely you are feeling the strong beat in your mind. So you know definitely that the strong beat must always come on your left leg. So there's no need for you to miss or to just be walking anyhow. So you must always be matching. That beat, that heavy beat must always come on your left leg. So that is the way I've trained them, you know, and you can never see. And the moment you see any of them carrying wrong step, you see them just change it. Maybe they got carried away, and you see the way they change it. Because I even taught them how to change steps. You know. So that is one thing I'm happy that I brought into the band then from the military. Because as a military bandsman, even your marching might not be really that smart, but you will be working. You might be working, but you'll be working to the beat. You understand? You might not be marching, you know, like the people on the parade are marching.
Yes.
You might be working, but because you are playing instrument, you are not expected to be that really, really smart.
Exactly.
Marching, but you'll be working, but that working will be on the
correlation with the beat.
On the beat, you know, and that is one thing I saw that, you know, is still not there in the Boys Brigade in Lagos. I cannot talk about the West as a whole, because why I'm saying is that recently I was in the Boys Brigade function and I saw it, you know, when they are marching on the streets and you see them just, even the one, you know, the one playing the snare drum. My Boys Brigade in Holy Cross, when they are playing, they must be always be moving up, even with the snare drum. And they are playing, they are moving up the same way the Royal Marine are playing. If you watch the Royal Marine band play, the snare drummer, you know, will be playing and they'll be going up with it. I taught them all those things. So those are the inspiration I brought from the military into the Boys Brigade. Yeah, into the Boys Brigade, which I know that I was happy that I did that. And that made my band at that time so unique.
Unique.
Yeah, so unique, you know, from them. So do you want me now to compare the Boys Brigade and the Bokos now?
Bokos, yes.
Okay. All right. Now, Bokos now has moved into commercial. You know, in those days, you can never see anybody playing in the bokos or whatever you call it that is not a member of the Boys Brigade. You must come from the Boys Brigade. But now you've seen people learning the trumpet just to become a member of the bokos without being a member of the Boys Brigade. So you see a lot of trumpeters today who have never been in the Boys Brigade before. And they learn their trumpet maybe from somebody who is a member of the Boys Brigade, but they themselves have never been a member of it. So they don't have that discipline of the Boys Brigade. Because the Boys Brigade gave us something that always be with us. That discipline. There are rebellious boys at that time, but they are rebellious. Rebellion has a limit. They don't go as far as probably beating up the officers or anything like that.
No.
Because the discipline is there.
Yes.
So, but nowadays, it is no longer the Boys Brigade influence thing anymore. Now you see that the MIC, whatever, all of them are having their own band. All the coffin sellers in Lagos now have a band.
A band, yeah.
Where did they get? It's no longer Boys Brigade band. So it's now a commercialized band. It's
Thank
like
you,
having a musical band. It's like setting up a musical band. So in the South Side where I come from, they call them trumpet boys.
Okay.
That's what they call them in South. They call them trumpet boys. And trumpet boys are no longer affiliated to the Boys Brigade.
To the Boys Brigade.
Yeah, they are now affiliated to a funeral. What do they call them? Undertakers, yes.
Yes, funeral home.
Funeral homes. They are now undertakers. So, and also you have private trumpet boys as well that you can call on, maybe during political rally, during any ceremony, to go and play for you. So the detachment, the discipline, the Boys Brigade has been taken away from it.
Thank you, sir.
So
the Bible says, when the foundation is destroyed, what can the righteous do?
That's it. It's like a river that cuts off its source. What happens? Dry. Yeah, dry. And that is what is happening now. Discipline has been cut off, so it's no longer, you cannot associate it with Boys Brigade anymore. Because it's now commercialized. Anybody can come up and say, okay, maybe people are even using it as a business now because they have money. They go and buy the drums. They buy the trumpets.
Yes.
And then get boys to come and play and be collecting engagements for them to go and perform.
Yeah.
And they have somebody who is there who will monitor how much they are being sprayed. And that money will still come back to them. Even now, they're even employing them on monthly basis.
Really?
So they pay them salaries. So whatever money you collect on that day or at your performance does not belong to you. Belong to the company.
Yes.
Which at the end of the month, they are going to pay you.
Yes. That's the thing. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. With all the rest, in fact, I should go. I am going to put it across to our viewers now and see at the moment of truth. at this juncture, the question I'm going to ask you, you have to say it the way it is, and God that I believe in is in the house. So when she feel, so
Okay.
be factual, be blunt, and be straightforward. The moment of truth.
Okay.
The Bokos, I'm not going to say the brigade. The brigade, Atikron brigade.
Atikron brigade.
Yes.
Brigade.
The Bokos of then, Nigbaye, àti the present Bokos. Kí ni take yín lórí ẹ̀? Ṣé plus ni or minus?
Well, if you ask me to be really honest, I'm going to tell you. The honest part of it is that I have this gap from 1991 that I left the shore of Nigeria till almost about 3 years ago that I've been frequenting Nigeria. So a lot has happened between that time that cannot allow me to give an accurate judgment, of what happened during the transition from 91 to this time. A lot of things has happened to transit to this. I was able to tell you from the time we started to the time I left how things were being done. But what I just saw now is what I was telling you, that àwọn gbókùgbókù àwọn funeral house wọ́n ti hijack ẹ̀, wọ́n ti commercialize ẹ̀, wọ́n ti sọ di, I've met them 1 or 2 occasions that, to be funny enough, 1 or 2 occasions mo ti pàdé àwọn gbókòsí. I still see 1 or 2 don't recognize Apanari.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember the occasion was there about 2 years ago. Àwọn Brazilians in Lagos Island, they were having a program near that Methodist Bosai School, the former site Bosai School, on hall in Sin, and it coincided that I was in Lagos Island at that time. So I went there. As soon as I entered, the boys played the trumpet there. Everybody, almost all of them. Apanari, and started hailing me and started playing, my old tunes. I felt so happy about it, that at least for how long Timothy Law was around, she or me. I did my one meet over and Apanari, now I hailed by, So, honestly, I can't judge what is happening now with what is happening there. Either it's better, or what we are doing that time is better than what they are doing now, because I've not seen them like attend, like there are some brass bands, there are some association of boys brass band.
Yes.
Yeah.
OBB.
And I've seen some of the videos which I felt, yes, okay, I could hear some harmonies which think, yeah, this is a good improvement, because all of us just play the same unison, we play the same key. And like I said at the beginning, when I wanted them to play the different key, I had to do the transposition myself, But now I can see that some of them are playing in different keys now, especially.
You are okay, sir?
Okay, there's a call to meeting me.
Okay.
Okay. Now, like I said, you know, we cannot. If during our time, we play just in one key.
Mm-hmm.
But I've observed now that I've met some people and I threw the trumpet from them. I realized that in key of G, or even without me taking the trumpet from them, I can see their fingering. I can know straight away with the key what the key they are playing from, which is very impressive. And I can also see that majority of these boys, they are really high up the performances. I hear some high range of tone that I was wondering how are they doing it.
Come on.
Yeah. I think there's improvement. There's improvement, only that it has moved out of our hands. It has moved out of the original intention. Even though we didn't have any intention, we didn't form it. It just happened.
Yes.
Yeah, we didn't go out to form Gokos. We didn't go out to form.
No.
No. We didn't do that. It just happened, and we thank God that anywhere we see them play, you can sit back and say, yes, we are part of the foundation of this. Even it started with us. Whatever you see, any part of Nigeria today, that root came from us. So I'm always happy. I've seen MIC or whatever, they came from Beria in Bayelsa, and some of the trumpeters there recognized me. I was shocked.
No be Apanari.
No, not be Apanari be this. So we thank God, because that time we were doing it. We were not doing it for fame. You will see me at that time, even though you see the way I be jumping in front of our trumpeters, conducting and stopping and starting again, stopping and we were enjoying it at that time. We were really enjoying it. So we thank God. Yeah. So, yeah, that's
Egbo, were there times tí ẹ fi play gbókòs yẹn briefly to the time tí ìgbà wo ni saddest experience and the happiest experience ṣe lè rántí?
I doubt it. But I'm on any saddest experience, because we were in a situation at that time when Nigeria was very good. We can play from evening till 6 a.m.
Yes.
And still go home without any problem. Parties are all night. We didn't have any problem at that time at all. So I can't pinpoint. When you send the question to me, I couldn't actually pick any regrets, any sad occasion. The only regret I can say is that losing some of my close pals. There's one particular boy that I won't be happy if I forgot to mention his name. Bode Joseph, you might not know him. He was my very close friend. We went to the same primary school. We started from primary 1 to primary 6. Although he went to boarding house, but when he came back, the boys' brigade has already started in Holy Cross then. And he came to me that he wanted to learn the trumpet. And I taught him how to play the trumpet, and he became one of the best trumpeters.
Wow.
Yeah. He died maybe. And another sad thing is that he died on my birthday.
Oh my God.
Yeah. When he was sick, he had a protracted illness. And I was in London there, and I was coordinating fellow brigades to gather money for him, and we were contributing. And somebody was in charge who was giving out the money. He was even the Lagos Battalion bandmaster before he died. He was coordinating, ministering the money for drugs and all those things. The time they transferred him from Lagos hospital to Idiaraba, and we just withdraw some money to go and pay for the test, and the money was not being paid. He died. They have to use the money for the mortuary. That's the only my regret or my sad moment. That a very close friend of mine like that was BJ. They call him BJ, Bode Joseph. We're classmates. I inspired him, and he became my assistant, became everything close to me. But we could not,
couldn't continue.
Yeah. So that's the only time.
May his soul rest in perfect peace, Egbo.
Amen.
Anyway, so far so good. Before we draw the curtain, being briefly, kini hobby, play music. So Mama play church and then preach in church, Kini at your leisure time.
During leisure time, you see, social media ti gba leisure time wa lọ́wọ́ o.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Social media ti gba hobby wa lọ́wọ́ o. Because if I'm not on this program now, I would have been on my phone. And I can see how many messages I've been dropping since I been talking here, and I'm sure somebody who has been trying for me to reply has not replied, is not trying to call me. So that takes our time. That takes the hobby away entirely. In those days they will say, "What are your hobbies?" They are swimming, reading, blah 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 blah. But no longer that.
So it is social media now.
Social media has taken over everything. Even in the church there, you'll be struggling.
Yes.
You'll be struggling to put your phone away, reminding yourself every second you are in the church.
It's all right.
Honestly, yesterday I had an appointment with Debo for I think 7:30 or 8 o'clock, and fortunately I have to preach in the church, and I have to use my phone, for the things I'm going to say. And while I was there, thank God that the phone was on silent. Debo's call start coming in.
My call also came in. My call too came in.
Your call too came. Yeah, your call too came. And that is what the social media has done for us. But sometimes I just wonder at that time we didn't even have the phone was not even there. To make a phone call, you have to go to 910 to make a phone call. Or you go to City Hall, there's a phone booth there. You put coin there and you make calls. But nowadays, how did we do
Nitel.
Yeah, you go to 910 to go and make calls. How do we do it? I just wondered.
Yeah.
But now, it's mad. I remember when I first came to London here, and I have to call my mom. My mom will travel from a place to another place. Maybe it would take about 1 hour to get to the place to go and receive my call. Maybe I will tell her I will call around 7 o'clock. Maybe from 5 o'clock she'll be there waiting for me, and I will be trying that number from 5 o'clock. Till after 7. By the time Mama Wale, mommy just a loss in.
Oh my God. Let him try. Oh my God.
See, I'm not talking about 100 years ago. I'm talking about just 30 years ago.
30 years ago.
30 years ago. 20, 30 years ago. You see, but we thank God for life. We thank God.
Ẹ̀gbọ́n, hi. Bó ṣe wùyàn kéèyàn jẹ ẹran pẹ́ nínú ọfà ọ̀fun.
I just wish I'm just here. I'm enjoying this. I'm just here.
I know you can go on and on and on. But unfortunately, we have to draw the curtain.
I can't even believe we've used 2 hours.
Yes.
Honestly, wow.
And still counting.
Yes, we're still counting.
Egbo, thank you so much. God bless you.
Maybe we should do part 2.
Of course, the battle is coming.
Just think of some questions. Just think of some questions I've not answered today.
Part 2 more. Even part 3.
Okay, we thank God.
By the grace of God, there are topics that I'm going to deal with.
Okay,
God bless you, sir. God bless you.
And you too.
My usual prayer. Ọlọ́run máa lọ́ra ẹ̀mí yín, you know. Ẹ máa pẹ́ fún wa, àwa la máa wá, ẹ̀yin la máa bá. Ní sick, and suddenly you won't be excommunicated in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Ẹ ti ṣiṣẹ́ o. Ẹ ti inspire lots and lots of us.
We thank God.
So, Ọlọ́run máa jẹ́ èdè yín, ṣe ti get it. So, ẹ ṣé gan, and
you too. I really appreciate what you are doing.
Ẹ ṣé gan.
I really appreciate it. God be with you, you know.
Ẹ ṣé sir. Ẹ ṣé gan mi. So, I'm a draw curtain bí báyìí. Èmi àti Ashima sọ̀rọ̀ by the grace of God.
Okay.
Ẹ ṣé gan. So, viewers are going to draw curtain, and of course, Baba Apanari in the house. So, and we're going to call it a day, you know. Though it's in the Europe evening lawa buying, but then we're going to put a stop to it. We are any choice. So God bless you until we see you in our next edition. Egbomi, I'm going to say
thank you very much. Thank you very much. God bless you.
God bless you, Papa.
All right.
Sir. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.